DuVernay's Selma, and boy, but this one I think kind of turns a page in the way we look at David. So in this Paramount 101 Studios series, and that's part of the Taylor Sheridan universe. So why don't we sit down? This is, should I say, long-suffering wife? You can say, so I want to start this way. So Chad, you spent a lot of time shaping Ray Donovan, who's one of my favorite TV tough guys. Now, the way I've always thought of David, his superpower is his empathy, and he's just as somebody that you gravitate towards, and it's worked great in movies, even when you turned out to be a bad guy, because the sleight of hand was right there. So, but Bass Reeves is one of the biggest badass guys that I've seen come along on a TV screen in a good long time. Can you guys tell me what went into turning our lovely David into just somebody who you just don't want to be on the business end of his six-shooter?
Yeah, I mean, I was saying this to you out in the hall. David is the most talented individual I've ever been around. And the only thing that sort of supersedes his talent and his work ethic is his humanity. And so to turn Bass or David into a badass wasn't really that difficult, because this man's talent is so extraordinary that, it seemed to me, I know it wasn't effortless for him, but it seemed effortless.
The thing you most loved as you made that transformation into Bass and a character who was so adept at horseback riding and so convincing in a shootout. That's a guy you want by your side. What was that like? What was the toughest part, and what was the most gratifying part?
Well, first thing to say, it just never gets old to see your head the size of a house. I was sat there going, whoa, that's me! It just never gets old. Actually, there was nothing I hated, because the idea of playing Bass Reeves was first presented to me in 2014. And I naively thought that, having done a little bit of a dive, this extraordinary character, of course we're going to get to make this show. Of course, every studio, every network, every cable, streamers didn't even exist back then, is going to want to do this. And we got roundly rejected by everyone, twice, with a 2-year gap in between. And so by the time we were actually shooting this, it had been an 8-year journey for me, trying to get this thing made. So the horse riding, the dialect work, the, working on every aspect alongside Chad, who just did the most extraordinary job of bringing this character to life, because he had a 32-year career as a lawman. So distilling it down to an essential part of his story in order for it to be something that the audience can gravitate towards was very much in Chad's hands and that writer's room's hands. But because it had taken so long to come to fruition, honestly, every day was a blessing for me, because my dream was literally coming true before my eyes. As a 6-year-old kid, up until, into my teens, I was obsessed with Westerns.